I've got the new colored Raine Cheers to the Beauty eyeshadow palette to share with you guys today. And I actually pre-ordered this off of their website right when it was available to pre-order. And then before I got my pre-order, they actually sent me a PR box and I was like, oh my god. So this was actually sent from Colored Raine, but I do have a one that I ordered on the way. It came in this really nice box that I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of because it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? And then the palette itself came in this sleeve right there, but I just left it inside the box. And I did do a demo using this palette, which is the look that's on my eyes today. I actually wore this when I went to town yesterday, and I just loved it so much that I was like, I'm gonna wear it again. I actually got this palette in the beginning of the week. I think it was on Monday. And I've been wearing it nonstop ever since. I've got so many other eyeshadow palettes and items to try, and I just haven't brought myself to use them because I just keep using this guy. And that's how I was when I got the Queen of Hearts palette as well. I just couldn't stop using it. I still can't stop using that palette, but right now I can't stop using this palette. Colored Raine is an indie brand and they make some of my favorite eyeshadows. I love their shimmer like metallics. They've got some of the most foiled pressed eyeshadows like ever. I purchased all of their mini palettes as well, and I depotted all of them and put them in they sell some huge like magnetic palettes as well as some smaller ones, but I put them all in one of those because it's just easier to use all the shades together than in the palettes, and I just love that too. Like they're my most worn eyeshadows of the moment, and I believe the Queen of Hearts palette has been my most worn eyeshadow palette since I got it like over a year ago. If that's saying anything, but I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited for any new palettes that Colored Raine comes out with. But anyway, onto the palette. This is a little bit longer than the Queen of Hearts palette in terms of the size. It is in a magnetic cardboard packaging and there's a mirror in there. The reason why it's longer is they included this shade right here, which I believe it'd be like a face highlighter, but it also can be used as a eyeshadow. I did wear this a couple times on the top of my cheekbones, and I had my full face on today with intentions of filming this video, and totally spaced out to put this on my cheeks as a highlighter. I was like, ugh. So I have got something else on the top of my cheekbones today. This is light enough for my skin tone, but it isn't light enough to where it like gives me a really high lift because I do have that fair skin. It's got a pinky peach duochrome to it, this guy right here. So I think it'll look pretty on a variety of different skin tones because it has that shift to it. But otherwise there are 12 eyeshadows in here, and each shadow is 0.05 ounces per shade, which is a decent amount of product. And then the highlighter, 0.11 ounce in the highlighter, so the total amount of product you're getting in here is 0.74 ounces or 21 grams, which is a decent amount of product. This palette retails on the website for $56, and then when I pre-ordered it, I think there was a almost $6 shipping, but I've seen recently they've been having some sales that have been applying to their palettes, and then I know a couple people have like codes for 10% off of the website that have been working for this as well. I will say that these two shades, Diamond Jubilee and Nightingale, they are the most sparkly out of them. There's some micro glitters in there. Those ones I do get fallout with. I don't so much with like Rosé, Iconic, and then these guys over here, but these two I do get some fallout with. They have micro glitter in them as well. And then the matte shades, little to no fallout, and they blend really well. So let me go ahead and zoom up close and give you guys some swatches. So here is the palette up close. There's the width, and then here is the back, so you can see the ingredients list on there. And then you've got your mirror right there. Mine's still covered up with plastic, and then here are your eyeshadows. You have got 5 matte shades in here. For me, it's a good amount of depth, transition, and then brow bone, which I appreciate in a palette when there's at least those 3 different tones of matte eyeshadows. And then you've got, again, the 2 shades with the heaviest amount of like shine and micro glitter to them is Diamond Jubilee, and then this Nightingale shade. These ones you're gonna see in the swatches are just foiled to the nines. Some of these shades, it's just crazy. There are some micro glitters in the shade Opulence and Black Butterfly, but they're not as loose or as much as in these 2 shades right here. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the matte shades first. I will say this Vintage Feels color is it's a matte base. The majority of it is a matte base, but there are really fine shimmers in them. I wouldn't even call them micro glitters because they're so fine, but it's a matte base again. But I used it as a blend out color the other day. It kind of just showed up as a matte, so I consider it one, but so those are the first 3. Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that horse? So those are the first three. And then these next two. I will say this red color, this matte red called Debonair, is got a drier, chalkier type of texture to it, but it's very saturated, and for me it blends out really well. I find that with a lot of matte red shades they have that texture, and I'm sure it just has something to do with the pigment that they have to use in them. Same with like a real vibrant like matte purple shade, they're kind of like that too, but those are like the, what I would consider the matte eyeshadows in the palette. Let me go ahead and swatch Luxurious Bling too before I get into the shimmer shades. So there is the highlighter shade. It's got a peachy gold shift to it. Oh my gosh. Right there. And now, are you ready for it? Let's do the shimmery shades. I think the only shade that I haven't used in here is this black butterfly shade, but I've used the rest. This rosé shade, just wait for it. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure when I'm doing this either. Look at that. Look at that gold though. Oh my god. Like you would think that that was a cream, right? There are the first four like shimmer metallics. So pretty. And then these bottom three. This one does have, again, these two have a chunkier feel than these other guys, but it's got micro glitters in them. So pretty. So there are the shiny shades in the palette. Isn't that, they're so pretty for like, they're pressed, you know, powder eyeshadows. Now for comparison, you've got the Queen of Hearts palette on top and then the Cheers to the Beauty on the bottom. Right there. You can compare the colors in there. There are no colors between these two palettes that are the same, are like exact dupes for each other. They're all different. I almost forgot, I was going to swatch you the 4 lipsticks that they also sent in the PR package, and I haven't tried any of Colored Raine's lipsticks, so I was kind of excited to get these. And the finish on them is kind of like a satin cream. I've worn one of the shades, and between the 4 they're a little bit dark for something that I'd wear every day, but I like the wear time on them. They have, again, they're like a satin cream, and they're comfortable on the lips, and they last really well. So I kind of want to get some more of the nuder shades that they have available, but I wanted to swatch these for you guys so you guys can see the colors. And the packaging is really pretty. So it says Colored Raine on the side right there. So this shade is called Whipped. And it's kind of a deeper mauve, brown mauve shade. The pigmentation on them is really nice. So like, they're like a satin matte, and they're comfortable, but the wear time is really good. That's when I wore that one lipstick the other day, and I went to town. It like lasted on my lips for quite a while. So this next one is called Serene. Yeah, this is the shade that I've worn right here. It's the lightest out of the 4. It's like a brown nude color. So that one is Serene. This next one is called Affluence, and it is a really deep berry, or like a mahogany red kind of, right there. And then the last one is Chocolate, which is a deep brown shade. I need to just like roll out of my comfort zone sometime here with all my nudes and my peaches and just bust out one of these really deep lips. They would look really pretty. These shades would look really pretty with probably any look that you create out of that Cheers to the Beauty palette. So those are, and I think they're the newest shades in their lipstick line, but I want to try some of the lighter shades as well because, again, I like the wear time on them. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Now if you're interested in seeing how those eyeshadows went on and the look that I have on my eyes today, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. I did this particular look yesterday and I was just living for it, so I thought it'd be perfect for the demo portion of today. But I'm going to use the NYX eyeshadow base. I have two shades mixed together in this pot to kind of create a not so stark like white, because I mixed the white with the nude. The nude's too dark, the white's too white. So I'm just going to prime from underneath the brow to the lash line. Oh, these cats are getting into something. Using a flat shader. This one is a Goss 18, the older version. I'm still on the hunt for a dupe for this because they no longer make this particular brush. But I'm going to go into the shade Nightingale and just lightly go like that to pick some up. I do get fallout with some of these sparkly shades. But the shine payoff is like super intense, so it's like, I feel like it's kind of worth it. And it brushes off my face pretty easy, but I'm going to go ahead and start right here, and I'm going to bring it above my crease here. I'm going to flip that same brush around and go into the shade Grandeur, which is a kind of an emerald green. I'm going to put that out here and blend it inward so it's kind of over half the lid, and blend it into that color. Then using an Esom W21 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Diamond Jubilee and just pick up a little bit of this guy. I'm going to put that in front of that green shade and buff it into it. I feel like this was, yeah, like yesterday when I was wearing this, I was like, this is just the ultimate holiday eyeshadow look. I'm just going to go ahead and brush off some of that fallout. Wasn't too bad. But then using a Chikuhodo GSN 9 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Debonair, which is a matte red shade. I'm going to try not to get it into the green too much, so then it'll turn kind of a darker color, but I'm going to put it on this outer portion and then bring it up above. Going to carry it about right there. Then using an Esom W23 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Raise a Glass, which is also a matte. It's kind of like a berry brown. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that and start blending out this edge of that red. Buff it out that much, and then I'm going to put the brow bone down and then put another color through there. Then using an Esom G29, I'm going to go into the shade Bountaineer right here, which is a matte vanilla type shade, cream shade. Put it underneath the brow. Then I'm going to take this Hakuhodo J5523 brush and go into the shade Powder Room. And I'm going to buff between here. Then not picking any more product up, but I'm going to take this G29 and just run it through here and then underneath the brow again. There is the eyeshadow done, like totally festive. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my eye makeup and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For lips, I've got Charlotte Tilbury's lip cheat in the shade Pillow Talk. And then to fill them in, I've got Nikki's Nude. My cat's got a hold of this and lost the cap. And so I'm about to sacrifice one older MAC lipstick and steal the cover off of it. This is like one of my favorite lipsticks of the moment. So yeah, this is MAC's Nikki's Nude. And that is the overall finished look using the new colored Raine Cheers to the Beauty eyeshadow palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.